everyone, welcome to Homemaker Living. My name is Teresa. My husband Doug and I have been doing a number of projects in our garden shed. If you haven't seen any of those videos, you might want to go ahead and take a look back and see how we have finished basically the interior of the shed from floor to ceiling. And we just wrapped up installing all the millwork on the walls, and we are now moving on to sanding this wood and then doing some type of finish on it. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it and get started with sanding this upper section first. PPE, safety first. Don't want to be inhaling all of this sawdust. Our plan of action here is to use these, are they called orbital sanders, huh?
Yes.
Orbital sanders. We're going to stand on the plank and just knock off the rough kind of, what do you call it, hairy furry stuff that hangs out?
Yeah, exactly.
Just so that when we decide to put a finish on it, that it doesn't have just a lot of things that are sticking up and it's not too rough. He did a little test down in the corner. I like how it turned out, so we'll see how this one goes.
So if you end up with any that are cupped like this, instead of keeping it flat, just put it like this. Okay? You'll figure it out as you go.
It's the next day. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. It's only about 26 degrees, but we're not going to let that stop us from getting going on this project. Now that the sawdust is settled, I think we can get a better look at the walls, and then we're going to get started. Sanding the walls did the trick. It knocked down all the dirt and the grime and all the little furry bits. I actually ended up really liking the look after we got done sanding. I mean, I like the other look too, but it looks even better with the brighter wood showing through. So I was kind of leaning, oh, do I want to keep it this color? But then I realized that the flooring we purchased is a dark wood. And I kind of felt like if I kept the walls wood and the dark wood on the floor, I'd be like in a box or a cave. And I really wanted it to be light and bright out here. So I think we're going to go ahead and do, as painful as it is to cover up this wood, I think we're going to go ahead and do a whitewash on the walls, and then we're going to do more of a solid white on this board and batten wall because I don't think that this new wood would take the same look as a whitewash as the old wood. And then we'll have a kind of a wall that will pop a little bit. Let me show you the flooring so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's a couple planks of the flooring down. It is much darker than the walls. So it does have that little bit of contrast, but I still feel like having the wood on the floor and the wood walls will make it still feel too dark in here. I don't know, I may regret it because like I said, I really do like the walls, but we want to get this project done and got to move forward. This is the whitewash look that we're going for. Let's just go ahead and put it on the... Guys, I'm really torn. I know by the time this video's out, we'll have made a decision. I think I'm driving my husband nuts, going back and forth. I wish this was real time and I could get some input. So I pushed it into the corner to see if I can get a better look at what it would look like. And so I was leaning towards definitely doing the whitewash. And then my husband did me a couple more boards to give me that look. And I'm sold. I think I do want it light and bright in here. And so when I hang all my pretties on the wall, they'll just pop right out. Plus I just wanted to have a garden feel and not a old town, ghost town feel. All right, we're gonna get after it.
Okay, there's no going back once we start.
You're making me nervous. We're gonna go ahead and start painting. Doug's got me set up on the board and batten wall and already did one little example for me, and he's gonna start on the whitewashing over there. That's looking really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. The painting project is all wrapped up, and we are pretty pleased with the way it turned out. I know it really stressed me a little bit by painting the siding, but it just was way too dark in here, and I know there's probably people that will think that the wood should have been left. I know my husband at first thought it as well after he started painting, but now he changed his mind and he really likes the way it turned out. I am so glad we went ahead and took that step. So as you can see, we just whitewashed all of those walls. We left the casing around the windows natural. I think that pops out really good. And then when we painted this, I didn't want it to be perfect. I wanted it to have highs and lows of paints. Looks a little aged. You can see nail holes and some knots in it. And I think it plays really well with the kind of old charm of the siding. Doug did a really good job making it uniform as far as one person's technique. We thought that would be a good idea. As you know, I could have been heavy-handed perhaps doing it. And of course he made short work of it as well. He whipped around this whole building before I was even done with the board and batten, as you saw. Then he helped me finish that last part up. Our next project is going to be laying the flooring, which should probably take a day. We're going to be laying it in this direction, so we have the least amount of waste, which also makes sense because the length of the room, I think, dictates that. And then I think the last thing in here, just to kind of finish it up, is The door, at some point, I'm going to sand it down and do a little distress paint on it since it's got pretty weathered from this winter. And then Doug will do the little bit of the electrical that's left in here. And then I can move in. The garden shed really took a transformation over this last week, just banging out all the projects that Doug had on his plate. And I know he's really relieved having all of that done. And, you know, he really wanted me to be able to get in here and start using it since spring is right around the corner. So I'm going to probably moving in this weekend. Well, that wraps up this project. And it sounds like we're going to be laying the floor tomorrow. So stay tuned for that video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel, as we have a few more projects to do here in the shed, as well as a number of projects outside as spring is right around the corner. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.